Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel at Positive Bluebird. Here's my silly dog. You're not gonna get it anymore? Get it, Yorkie. Get it. All right. I thought I'd give you guys a story hour. And I'm sorry if I'm not looking at the right part of my phone. Because I have it sideways as recommended from somebody. So hopefully you guys can see me. I'm supposed to be looking right there. You like that? Right there. Hi. What are you doing? You want out now? You gonna go out? Go that way. Nope. Okay, go. Okay, I'll just leave it like that. He's just playing around. Okay. So my story hour is about the past jobs that I used to work at. And let's see if I can remember all of them here. Most of us can remember where we worked when we were... Sorry, I have a distraction. I have the cat putting her paw under the door and the dog is having fun. Yeah. You guys are going to be distractions. Okay. I just put them out there. Okay, so my first job was Village Inn. And I think I was on a work permit at the age of 15. And I was bussing tables, and it was the most nastiest, disgusting job I've ever had. Touching dirty plates and ugh. But the craziest thing at this job was that the Village Inn manager would tell us to keep the little packets of jelly, that you put on your toast, and the little butter ramekins that had the, they were still sealed, I should say, and take them off the table when the customer had left and put them back where the dishwasher guy was. And he was to put them in this big plastic bin and take the spray hose of hot water and clean them off. And we would recycle the jam and little syrup containers and butter and what have you. And I was like, ew. Well, years later, I learned, because I only worked there a short time. I think it was like 7 months. But years later, a friend of mine that worked there said that they got in trouble for that because obviously that is a health hazard. That's a risk because soapy water is possibly getting inside those because they would put them in the dishwasher. Like they would spray hose them and then stick them in the big giant box dishwasher. And there's soap going through there. So you never know. I'm sorry, somebody must be thinking of me. So you never know if those little tiny packages are slightly open. So anyway, God, I'm like having problems. So the funniest thing about working at the Olive Garden, Village Inn. Olive Garden was another job, but Village Inn at the time was that my oldest brother came into the restaurant and walked up to me and said, "Whatever you do, don't say a word when you come out to the car." And I'm like, okay. I didn't know what he was talking about. And it was still daylight. I think I got off at 2:00 or something. I go out there, and the first thing I do is, and my mom's like, "What's her problem?" I was like in shock. My brother goes, "Shh." And I go, my mom's like, "What is your problem?" So she gets out of the car and she goes over to the passenger side. And yeah, there was a huge dent and a broken headlight. Thanks to my oldest brother, who was supposed to start the car in the driveway, but instead he took it for a joyride around the neighborhood and hit a couple of parked cars. So when we got home, he had to go with my dad, who was a cop at the time, and go find those parked cars. And I don't know what happened from there. I think he had to apologize and maybe they paid some monies. I don't know. But anyway, I thought it was funny. I didn't know what he was talking about. That was my first reaction. So my second job, I believe, was working at King Soopers. And again, I was 15 and I was going to Arapahoe High School as a freshman, I believe, freshman or sophomore. Yeah, I think it was a freshman. And I was a bagger, or what we used to call a courtesy clerk. um, and back then, we didn't have to wear uniforms as they do today. When they bag your groceries. Back then in the 80s, we got to wear whatever we wanted. It was like blue jeans and just a regular t-shirt. And at the time, I became the fastest courtesy clerk ever. And I was working alongside my partner in crime, Donnie, and he was the checker. So he would ring in the groceries and send it down the conveyor belt. And he was the fastest checker. Then I was the fastest bagger. And customers loved us. So we worked as a team and we kept winning awards, like little paper awards through Kroger at King Soopers. And yeah, I thought that was fun. He's the one that got me introduced to my band at the time because he said that there was a bunch of guys that he knew that owned their own basement band. And, at times they had a garage band. But they needed a female backup artist or singer or whatever, or main singer. And they wanted me to sing Metallica. And I was like, there's no way I can sing Metallica. Are you kidding me? So anyway, I show up at their house on the weekend with Donnie. And I was like really shy. And I think I went to school with one of them. I don't remember. But I think there was like 4 or 5 guys. And they wanted me to sing some Metallica. And I'm like, there's no way, So I ended up being on like what was kind of called, I think it was a college work credit, something like that, or aerial vocational credit or something like that. So it's kind of like pre-college placements. And it's to get your foot in the door. And it's also to free up a lot of your classes your junior and senior year in high school. And it's like advancement classes. So I went to ACC College and I started taking vocal lessons. I tried to sing like Joan Jett. That didn't work. So I chose Lita Ford. And my teacher did teach me a lot of vocal throat exercises and diaphragm exercises and jumping jacks and running around the entire classroom in order to help release oxygen or something. And boy, it made a difference with singing. My hair is like doing weird things. But anyway, a lot of those artists that scream and belt out a lot of that roughness, they have to do vocal training, because if you don't and you sing like Sam Kinison, you're going to ruin your vocals, and you'll have to be required with throat surgery. So, but anyway, so I went to school and I was taught to sing like Lita Ford. I did a couple of renditions, and I also sang Take My Breath Away from Berlin. It's a theme song, if you look it up, through the movie Top Gun. And I recorded it, and then actually I didn't record it with the teacher. That was my assignment. So I took that idea of Berlin, because it was an easy song to do. I took that back to the guys and said, let's try this. So what we did in Matt Laring's basement, I hope he sees me. I haven't seen these guys in 25 years, probably. And he had an entire basement recording studio. Well, anyway, I sang the soprano version, and then I had to dub in the alto chorus, like the main theme chorus, whatever you want to call it. I can't even think straight. And so when it was dubbed in, it sounds like two singers. It sounds like me and another person, but it's actually both me. And they're huge recording CDs like this that are in a machine in the wall, and then you have a filter mic. And then what you do is when you sing, you're recording onto one, then you do a playback while you're singing with that playback, and then it's recorded on another one. That's kind of hard to explain, but it's fun. It's really, it's quite interesting. And so the guys would, play the instruments and guitar and all that fun stuff. So I majored it. I got through it. I sang it live in front of thousands. And I also did a couple of Lita Ford songs. I don't remember which ones they were. And I had to do that in front of ACC College. And there was tons of other people. It was like a big giant talent show. My brother was also there. And believe it or not, you guys, he was trained by Steve. And again, I cannot think of this guy's last name. I really wish I can remember. But if you guys look up the band Dotzero, I think it's Dotzero, they're a famous jazz band. They're kind of up there with Kenny G. And my brother was trained by the lead saxophonist. No joke. The guy would show up at my mom's house and he trained my brother on saxophone. So it was quite awesome. But anyway, and then I went to the Joan Jett concert a couple of years ago for free here in Colorado. It was fun. I'm probably not going to have enough time for all of my jobs on here, but I mostly worked for King Soopers. I worked for a couple of other restaurants. The longest job I ever worked at was the Olive Garden, and that was about 6.5 years. Worked through my pregnancy, my 5th month, and I had to go on bed rest. And then I worked at Hobby Lobby and became severely disabled, so I haven't worked since 2006. So that's pretty much it, you guys. I hope you like this story hour or story few minutes, 13 minutes. I love you guys, and I'm going to go and eat some more of this yummy, delicious brownie my son made and lay off the coffee because it's getting late. So talk to you guys later. Peace out, stay positive, and I'll have more stories for you to come over the weekend. Bye!